Welcome to Module 3, Academic Writing. In this module, we will be examining the distinguishing features of academic writing. In addition, the education specialist at Sacred Hearts Library has prepared a separate video for you in which she demonstrates how to locate and to save in APA format articles from the library databases of academic writing. Academic writing has a number of distinguishing characteristics. It is writing that engages with the work of other scholars and contributes to an ongoing conversation within a field of study. It is generally housed within a specific discipline and adheres to discipline-specific conventions and formatting. It can reach not only specialized readers also interested in a specific topic, but can be relevant to a broader audience as well, and have an impact and affect change. I'm sure it's your hope that the work you are doing in this program will have relevance and the potential to have an impact beyond an academic audience, for example. My hope is that what you learn about academic writing can be transferred to other types of writing, both in and out of the field of education. While not exhaustive, these are some of the types of academic writing that you will most likely encounter in this program and beyond. You may write book reviews, present papers at conferences, produce research papers, submit articles to education journals, contribute chapters for a book, and in this course, you will be producing a problem-to-solution paper, which we will discuss in more detail in a later module. In addition, you may be asked to write case studies, have your work published as part of a conference proceeding, serve as a peer reviewer of other scholars' articles, and write critical reviews of articles or books. All of these constitute types of academic writing. Publishing in academic journals in particular makes your scholarship visible to other scholars in the field and positions you as an important voice sharing original ideas. Because these journals are peer-reviewed, meaning they have undergone a vigorous vetting process, readers know that your work has been verified as reliable and relevant. For that reason, it elevates your status as a practitioner as well as a scholar. It can also help you with receiving grant monies for your research or projects. Let's examine what it takes to position yourself in this way. As doctoral students, you will be asked to complete a variety of writing tasks. The tasks will become more complex as you move through this program, culminating with your dissertation. In other courses, you will discuss content relevant to your dissertation, but I want to focus our attention on the questions of rhetoric and language inherent in any academic writing. Primary among them is positioning, or taking a stand on a topic. By becoming a skillful academic writer, you will be establishing yourself as a competent thinker in your field. As you can see, there are a number of components necessary to achieving this goal. First, you must take a stand or make a claim about a topic, one that is clear, concise, and debatable. To position yourself as an academic writer, you have to know your topic well, including the contradictions and complexities contained within it. For example, a statement such as, "There is an achievement gap in this country," is not, for most readers, a debatable point. If, however, you wrote a thesis including what specific types of achievement are in question and what contributes to that achievement gap, you are getting closer to a debatable argument. An effective argument also defines unfamiliar and/or key terms. The qualities of an academic claim are that it is analytical or interpretive, specific, contestable, reasonable, and significant. Someone other than you should care about it. The word argument comes from the Latin to make clear, so your argument should shed significant light on a topic. To persuade a reader that you have something important to contribute to an ongoing scholarly conversation, You must situate your work within the existing scholarship and demonstrate why your view is relevant. This involves the close, critical reading of the work by other scholars in the field, which allows you to respond to other viewpoints around the same topic and to evaluate and integrate evidence to support your ideas and to refute those of others if needed. In order to effectively use evidence, you must analyze it carefully and then offer your own interpretations of it. Evidence may consist of statistics, other scholarly work, case studies, etc. Strong evidence is sufficient, precise, representative, accurate, and authoritative. In thinking about evaluating yours or someone else's argument, ask these questions. What is the claim? What reasons are being given for believing that claim? On what evidence is that reasoning based? What are the counter-arguments and how are they effectively refuted? By examining academic writing from the field of education, which we will do later in this module, we can note what kinds of evidence are acceptable in that field. For example, what constitutes acceptable evidence in the field of literature might be quite different from that in education. You are learning about this in some of your other courses within the program, and in a later module, we will discuss how this evidence makes up the key part of the paragraphs of your papers. Finally, your writing as a scholar within the field of education must address the discipline-specific expectations and conventions concerning methodology, citations, and formatting. Let's take a closer look at some of the considerations in academic writing. We will be referring back to all of these throughout the course as they relate to different writing tasks. Audience. Ask yourself, what assumptions are you making about what the audience knows about the topic, which might impact your use of technical or discipline-specific vocabulary in your writing? Will you need to provide definitions from your field that may be unfamiliar to the reader? It's also important to establish common ground with your audience by providing background information the reader needs in order to understand the situation and the context of the topic and of your argument. Purpose. Audience and purpose, as previously discussed, are interconnected. If the audience knows less than the writer, the purpose includes informing as well as persuading and/or motivating the audience. If the audience knows more, for example, your dissertation advisor, the purpose includes demonstrating familiarity and establishing a level of expertise. Organization. Your readers will expect that information and evidence are presented in a structured way that provides clues or a roadmap of where you are taking them. Academic writing employs a variety of organizational patterns that you may use at some point. These include sections and chapters of research papers, dissertations, and/or books. Every academic paper, however, includes coherent paragraphs. If you are citing facts that might be disputed, you must ensure that you are demonstrating that they come from reliable sources by citing them. We will discuss how to write well-organized and well-cited paragraphs in a later module. For this course, you will be focusing on another common pattern of organization in academic writing, and that is problems and solutions. Again, we'll discuss that in more detail a little later in the course. Style. Style is a consideration in any writing, but in particular in academic writing, which calls for formal language that avoids cliches, jargon, slang, and contractions. It generally, but not always, is written in a third-person objective voice. Of course, this is determined by the assignment, audience, and purpose. The important thing is to ensure you follow the guidelines assigned by, for example, an instructor, a journal editor, or conference organizers. It is also worth considering your stylistic choices as you write an academic paper, as it will help position you as an engaging and/or authoritative voice in your field, and to establish your scholarly identity. As you will read in our course text, The Elements of Style, in a later module, the best approach to style is, quote, by way of plainness, simplicity, orderliness, and sincerity. You really can't go wrong if you stick with that advice. There is a reason that that text has become a staple on every good writer's bookshelf. Flow. All good writing has an almost intangible appeal to a reader's ear due to its flow. Generally, flow refers to a smooth transition between sentences and, more broadly, between ideas. Transition words, of course, can help with this. Words such as therefore, further, however. But also paying attention to organization to ensure that the paper progresses logically also contributes to a successful flow of a piece of writing. Finally, there are definite considerations about presentation in academic writing that involves formatting in discipline-specific style, as well as the details discussed in Module 1 regarding editing and proofreading. For the Doctoral and Education program, you will prepare your work following the APA Style Guide, as explained in our required handbook. Later in this module, you will be asked to look at some of the attributes of academic writing that you can identify in peer-reviewed articles. In a separate video provided immediately after this one, I will examine an academic research paper with you. Here are a list of some useful resources related to our discussion of academic writing. The first one is a database of publicly available writing, which might be a useful resource for exploring different types of academic papers. Included here as well are some prominent education journals that I recommend if you are not already familiar with them. They offer opportunities to submit your writing. Finally, as you will see when you look at the activities folder, in this module you are asked to locate 2 peer-reviewed articles related to your identified problem of practice using the method explained in a tutorial created for you by the education librarian. You'll be examining the articles for attributes of academic writing and posting your thoughts about what constitutes an effective academic article. I have provided you with a check sheet in this module to get you started in observing some of the characteristics that distinguish effective academic writing, but you will also want to consider the ideas presented in this lecture. Being an effective academic writer, or any writer for that matter, involves asking meaningful questions and engaging in a complex dialogue about important ideas. It is an exploration of our own thinking about a topic that contributes something significant to the world. As you begin your work in academic writing in this program, there is no better guidance than that provided by the words of Joan Didion. I write to find out what I think. What you learn about academic writing can be transferred to other types of writing, both in and out of academia. Throughout your journey in this doctoral program, you will engage in a variety of types of writing which will be building towards your dissertation and helping you to refine your thinking about a problem of practice important to you. I look forward to reading your work.